Just as a reminder, in this fourth video, we are discussing the general education legislation key pieces that are going into general education rights and opportunities for all students, considering the fact that we really push for students with disabilities also to access and be included and successful in the general curriculum. So key pieces of information to remember there include the following. First, we have the General Education Legislation piece, School to Work Opportunities Act of 1994, and this required the Department of Education and the Department of Labor to work together to improve post-school outcomes in high school and post-school programs. So making sure that we're bridging the gap between that transition and high school to post-school. It included components such as school-based learning, or focus on academic and occupational skill development, work-based learning to prepare students for success in the world of work, training, mentoring, apprenticeships, things like this in terms of work-based learning. And then also it does a lot of connective activities like maintain bridges between school, work, adult services, that sort of thing. Next, Goals 2000, Education America Act of 1994 established national education goals which included all students will start school ready to learn, high school graduation rates increase to 90%, all students demonstrate competence in challenging subject matter so that they are prepared to be responsible citizens. American students will be the first in the world in math and science. Every American will be literate and possess knowledge, skills to compete in the global economy. Every school will be free of drugs, violence, and firearms and alcohol, and teachers will have access to quality continuing education. Also, finally, promoting partnerships that increase parental involvement. So this piece then the No Child Left Behind Act of 2001, which was actually a reauthorization of the original Elementary and Secondary Education Act regarding the funding and outcomes for public education from 1965. So this established accountability for results in terms of making sure that students were proficient. It ensured that every child can read with the Reading First initiative, strengthened teacher quality, highly qualified teachers were recommended. And then it required that every child would be on grade level by 2013 or 2014, and also promoted English proficiency. Next, this Higher Education Opportunity Act of 2008 is something that is still currently operate under this act today. It defined disability with the same definition as the Americans with Disabilities Act, which includes a physical or mental impairment that limits one or more major life activities of an individual that is documented. It's providing funding for demonstration projects to ensure that students with intellectual disabilities receive a quality higher education. Also, finally, Pell Grants were to be expanded for these of students with disabilities in addition to students who are disadvantaged. In 2009, the National Governors Association created Common Core state standards. There's a link here if you'd like to know more about that. But just in general, it includes a clear set of shared goals and expectations for the knowledge and skills students and need in English, language arts, mathematics, science across different subjects at each grade level so that students will be prepared to succeed in college, career, and life. This was designed to complement that No Child Left Behind Act. Finally, in terms of general education legislation, we have the Every Student Succeed Act, Public Law 11495, and this was from 2015. We still operate under this amendment to the Elementary and Secondary Education Act of 1965. This amendment extends to include accountability systems in states, including students with disabilities. Alternate assessments have to be provided to at least 1% of the population of students with disabilities in the school to ensure accountability. Alternate diploma guidance in terms of developing an alternate system of graduation for individuals with disabilities so they can determine the pathway of which course of study they are on. And then standards-based IEPs must be developed for individuals with disabilities. That link to the Common Core in general education. We also have a focus on resources for families, early childhood, specific at-risk populations, and full regulations are still being finalized. It's passed in December 2015. Before we switch to the next section, be sure that we are ready.